Hello, my name's Chris Schmidt, and I'm going to talk with you about genetically modified organisms, GMOs, and the current labeling situation and process we have in the United States. Well, like most consumers, when I walk into a grocery store, I read labels to try to make an informed decision whether I have a dietary restriction or an allergy, just to see what the ingredients are. And although the only state is Vermont that currently mandates labels, but even though 90% of corn and the majority of processed foods have GMOs, they're not mandated by the FDA to be labeled. Well, I think it should be up to the consumer to decide, and labels should be mandated so we can all make an informed decision. I personally have been interested in GMOs since I was young when finding out more that they were natural and the whole process, and it kind of intrigued me. I saw the environmental risks and different reports coming up, and it was interesting. So I did start to eat more organic food as I did more research, and the whole thing was intriguing, and it was really interesting. I think you're gonna see it the same way. Well, genetically modified foods can potentially be harmful, and the information provided by labeling GMOs would give us the decision to make for ourselves instead of leaving it in the hands of the FDA and big business like Monsanto's, the number one GMO seed producer currently. Well, first I'm going to discuss the definition of GMOs, then explore potential health and environmental risks, and why the FDA doesn't mandate them and reasons why we should. Many people hear the term GMOs and they don't exactly know what it means. Well, according to Encyclopedia Britannica, GMOs are organisms that have been engineered in the lab, so they aren't natural, but they're made to express certain desired physical traits so they can do better in nature and basically thrive while resisting different weed killers, which they have not been shown to have improved calorie or health benefits. And this is another interesting reason, is that they, after 30 years, they can't show any conclusive evidence that they're any better for you, but they are more profitable, so people are definitely making more money off of them. Now, for the environment, they can cause superweeds and antibiotic resistance. And according to the Center for Food and Safety, then these toxicity levels are unknown when you cross genes from plants. So there's a lot of uncertainties. So these are chances that we're still willing to take as consumers by not knowing all this information. Now, the Center for Food and Safety also acknowledges that these antibiotic resistant markers that are predisposed and developed in all these GMOs, that they can kind of contaminate the whole food chain, and these can cause outbreaks and diseases. And a lot of European companies have banned these seeds just because they know this knowledge, and it's stuff that should be passed on to us as well. Now, the FDA doesn't want mandatory labeling because they are so profitable, and these companies fear that the same thing will happen in Europe. Now, Europe did label all these GMOs, and the public stopped purchasing them. And these companies fear that the same thing will happen here, and there's a lot of money at stake. Now, the US News also said that labeling this could also help against adverse reactions from allergens, and it can really help healthcare professionals. So there are other benefits here, as well as religious views who see like animal genes being implanted into plants or as unnatural and ungodly, sort of say, and it would really help these populations. And there's people just don't have consider everybody when they make these decisions. Well, now I've informed you a little bit more of the definition of GMOs and a little bit of research and side effects and possibly other potential hazards. Now, genetically modified organisms can be potentially harmful, and labeling them would give us a choice to decide for ourselves. Now, the New York Times did a recent poll and shows 90% of Americans think that these should be labeled currently. So there's kind of a gap over where big business and the FDA and where Americans see the case. So, in my opinion, and many others, there's a strong case for the benefit and ethical morals behind labeling GMOs. Thank you for your time, and I hope you all have the information now to make a more informed decision and to see the benefit of labeling genetically modified organisms in the United States. Thank you.